Coming up on The Shield, find out how you can help those less fortunate by volunteering a few hours a week.
With the 2016 election less than a month away, presidential candidates Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton faced each other on a stage in the second presidential debate of 2016. Find out what happened during its surprising ending.
And we've had a beautiful day with a fairly clear sky, and we will have more of that for the rest of the day. Right now we're at 68 degrees. More on the weather later for a change.
Campus of Valparaiso University. This is The Shield on VUTV.
Thank you for joining us on The Shield. I'm Jordan Morandini.
And I'm Alexander Bartelt.
This Wednesday, the Valparaiso University Programming Council is hosting a pumpkin painting event. All of the materials required to paint pumpkins will be provided by the UPC. The event will take place at 7 o'clock p.m. in the Hearth across from the Founders Table.
This Friday, Valparaiso University will host its 19th annual Fall Career Fair. All VAPO students, freshmen through graduate students, are invited to attend this event from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Harry Union Ballrooms, featuring over 75 different participants. This event will help students investigate possible career options while also exploring employment opportunities and securing internships.
And St. Teresa of Avila Catholic Church has been a staple of the Valpo community for decades, together with Valparaiso University students. They have been able to help members of the community with a single meal a week. VUTV's David Horak has the story.
Like churches throughout the entire city of Valparaiso, St. Teresa is no stranger to opening its doors to the community. And for the last 15 years, the Cafe Manna program at St. T's has emphasized its community outreach one meal at a time.
We bring people together through the food, but it's not necessarily about the food. It's like you can hear them now, they're talking and they're having conversations. Some of them might be homeless, and so it's just, they might be able to find food somewhere else, but it's just that community and that support, just sitting next to the same person every week.
Loosely translated as Food for Man, Cafe Manna has thrived off of volunteer support from local church groups and Valparaiso University students. At least 20 to 30 hit the kitchen every Thursday, and to the St. T staff, their service slogan of feeding the body and soul could not be proven any more true.
It makes me really proud that people will take time out of their busy schedules. This is people's homework time, and so just being selfless in that way to come serve with us, even if it's just for an hour. If it weren't for Valpo and our community at Valpo, it wouldn't be possible to do Cafe Manna.
A delicious meal and a family away from family, part of a rich, balanced diet to a healthy community. For VUTV, I'm David Horak.
The VUCA is getting ready to present another show on their stage. The Musical of Musicals, The Musical, is directed by Andrew White and is comprised of 5 acts. The musical's central theme is focused on a woman who cannot pay her rent and parodies popular musicals such as The Phantom of the Opera, Cinderella, and Sweeney Todd. The Musical of Musicals, The Musical, will run on November 4th and the 11th at 8 p.m. and November 5th, 6th, 12th, and 13th at 2 p.m. Tickets are on sale now and can be purchased online at the Valparaiso University Center for the Arts webpage or at the Center of the Arts box office.
The leaves have started to change color, and it's definitely gotten cooler out. Storm meteorologist James Ryan has a quick look at this week's weather for you. James?
Good afternoon, everybody. We've had an absolutely gorgeous day. We're sitting here at 68 degrees and nothing but sunshine in the sky, a light southeasterly wind. That will be changing a little bit soon. But fortunately, we have lovely temperatures throughout the area. However, there are a few showers moving slowly eastward across the Midwest, and they will be coming our way Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Find out more by tuning in later in the show to find out the rest of the week.
Thanks, James. Next on The Shield, Hurricane Matthew slammed the East Coast this past week. Find out how long the effects of Matthew will be felt.
We will also take a look at one of man's idea that has been making waves along the California coast after the break. Stick with us.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it... If Daniel won't change your mind, baby,
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
Hurricane Matthew continues to pour rain down on the east coast of the United States. It made landfall on the South Carolina coast this past week as a Category 1 storm, packing winds of 85 miles per hour. It's being blamed for at least 4 deaths in Florida. CNN's Hallie Pfeiffer has the latest.
Georgia and Carolina coasts, but the storm was still strong enough to bring heavy rain, significant storm surges, and flooding with it. Officials warn that residents aren't in the clear just because the storm has been downgraded.
But as soon as this hurricane turned inward, which is what we didn't want, yes, it did downgrade into wind, but it upgraded into the volume of water. And water can kill.
And what I am going to ask for you is patience. Most injuries, most fatalities occur after a storm because people attempt to move in too soon. Do not plan on going back home today or tomorrow.
Early Sunday, Matthew's northern eye wall, the most dangerous part of the storm, hammered coastal South Carolina with hurricane-force winds. Rainfall totals are expected to exceed 12 inches in some areas. Matthew killed hundreds of people in the Caribbean, the majority in Haiti. Then it moved on to Florida's east coast. There were casualties and more than 1 million people left without power. Heavy rain drenched the eastern part of the state, while strong winds pushed debris and trees into the street. Now, as Georgia and the Carolinas wait for the storm to pass, Florida is picking up the pieces.
I mean, there's a lot of beach erosion. Quite a few pockets of our road damaged along, right along the coast. And then we still have a lot of flooding, and we still have a lot of downed trees.
Hurricane Matthew left a broad trail of death and destruction in the Caribbean before heading to the U.S. The powerful storm killed at least 1,000 people in Haiti. However, the country's ambassador to the United States says the death toll is expected to rise. As emergency workers reach remote areas, one man stated that entire villages have been wiped out the United Nations. Says this is the country's worst humanitarian crisis since the 2010 earthquake. CNN's Shasta Darlington has more from Haiti.
Hurricane Matthew slammed into Haiti on Tuesday, but only now are we beginning to fully understand the extent of the devastation. It was a Category 4 storm, the worst in half a century. It inundated entire villages, flattened houses, and destroyed crops and livestock. It also killed hundreds of people, but the death toll is really hard to nail down because the aid workers and the authorities are only now arriving to those hard-hit areas. Officially, 300 people have been confirmed dead, but the expectation is that that could triple in the coming days. The focus right now is just getting into those hard-hit areas and helping the victims with clean water, with food, and with shelter. Communication and roads were knocked out, so is electricity, so this is going to be a long slog. But some of these villages, the houses were either destroyed or the homes were flooded, so there is a huge demand for shelter and clean water right now. One of the biggest concerns is over disease. Haiti is a country that's still struggling to recover from the 2010 earthquake when more than 200,000 people were killed. Some people were still living in tents, and there was a huge outbreak of cholera after the earthquake in 2010. Cholera has already reappeared following the earthquake, and so one of the big urgent efforts right now is to get the clean water and the shelter out there and avoid another major disaster. Shasta Darlington, Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos is the winner of this year's Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel awarded him the prize for his effort in trying to bring peace to Colombia following more than 5 decades of conflict with the FARC. The armed conflict has cost the lives of more than 200,000 Colombians. Despite Santos's efforts, Colombians voted against a referendum that would finalize the peace agreement.
22-year-old Syrian national. The search is centered in Chemnitz, south of Berlin. Police are looking for Gerhart al-Bakr. After finding what they described as highly volatile explosives in his apartment, police say he may have been preparing an attack. 3 arrests have been made already. The details emerged during a large-scale police operation in the city of Chemnitz.
Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton faced off in the second presidential debate in St. Louis Sunday. 90-plus minutes, the nominees each pointed and answered questions from both the moderators as well as audience members in the town hall style debate. They especially focused on each other's personal controversies, both past and present. After a heated 90 minutes, the debate ended on a surprisingly friendly note after a final question raised by one of the audience members.
Would either of you name one positive thing that you respect in one another?
Well, I certainly will, because I think that's a very fair and important question. Look, I respect his children. His children are incredibly able and devoted, and I think that says a lot about Donald. I don't agree with nearly anything else he says or does, but I do respect that. And I think that is something that as a mother and a grandmother is very important to me.
I will say this about Hillary. She doesn't quit. She doesn't give up. I respect that. I tell it like it is. She's a fighter. I disagree with much of what she's fighting for. I do disagree with her judgment in many cases. But she does fight hard, and she doesn't quit, and she doesn't give up, and I consider that to be a very good trait.
Trump and Clinton are set to face off one more time before Election Day. That debate is set for Wednesday, October 19th in Las Vegas.
1 man was killed and 8 other people were hurt early Sunday when they were shot at a strip mall in Grand Rapids, Michigan. On a Sunday afternoon, the Grand Rapids Police Department identified the man killed as 21-year-old Jawan Boykin of Grand Rapids. Heather Walker has more.
I just want to say to my brother, because I know he's going to hear me, I love you.
Jaleesa Cage had a message for her little brother.
I thank God that you was able to meet my baby. You was able to be around your kids, your family, and I just want you to know that everything that just went down, man, everything happens for a reason, baby.
21-year-old Jawan Boykin was one of 9 shot at this space that reads clearance outlet in the 1800 block of 28th Street Southeast early this morning. But police say it looks more like a party hall. Now, right now, they're still trying to piece together what happened as they search for a suspect after Boykin didn't survive and 8 others went to the hospital.
I don't know what happened, man. I was just red. I got blood everywhere. I was running. I was just running. I got blood everywhere. Blood. Dang, that's a lot of blood.
A chaotic scene as more than 80 people inside ran for their lives.
I was inside. I heard shots fired.
The owner of the building says the store has been closed for more than a year, and he's been using it for storage. But this morning he said he allowed an employee to use the space for a birthday party.
It's very sad. People supposed to be at a birthday party and they're enjoying themselves.
A celebration turning to loss as Boykin's sister tries to come to grips with what happened to her baby brother.
I can't really cope with it. I feel like it's unreal.
Many children enjoy riding in big red wagons, but one man in California has taken his wagon rides to the extreme. CNN's Jonathan Brannon has the full story.
All right, now I'm going to show you a car that is every kid's wildest dreams come true. And to be honest, every adult's too.
Saw a wagon not near this big on the internet that had been built in California. And I said, that looks like a lot of fun, but I'm going to build one that will hold a lot of people. And all I ever had in mind when I built it was bringing it to cruising the coast, riding up down the beach, and I'm having a ball with it. I've owned almost every kind of car that you can own, but I've had more fun with this in 4 years than all the rest of them put together. Somebody asked me a while back, did it run on gas or diesel? And I said, neither one. I said, it runs on smiles.
Up next, we will take a look at this week's weather with Storm Shield meteorologist James Ryan.
And in just a bit, we'll hear from Eric Ruzanski with this week's recap in sports after this quick break.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's the better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it...
If dying young won't change your mind, baby, right.
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
Good afternoon, everybody. We've had an absolutely gorgeous day throughout Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. From our live cam over I-65 in Maryville, look at that clear sky right there, and we've had that all day, and we'll continue to have that for a few. However, we will have some rain on the way. Fortunately, we've had a lovely fall-like week, as is appropriate for October. It's been an absolutely magnificent Monday, and we've had a great warm start to the week, but we will have some cool nights coming up. And unfortunately, we will have a little rain Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. More on that later on in this update. As for our temperatures throughout the area, we have 70s and upper 60s throughout the area, and we get a little bit cooler as we go further east, and we will have some days like that throughout the week. However, we will have some nights in the 40s. And when we zoom in on Chicago, it's been 68 and 72 throughout the area, and right here at good old Valpo, we're 68 degrees, and that is absolutely beautiful, especially for this time of year. When we zoom out and see the rest of the area, we're throughout the 60s and the 70s, and it's an absolutely glorious October day. As for the next few days, we will have some cooler temperatures. We'll be in the 50s Tuesday morning at around dawn for your early Tuesday classes, but worry not, at the end of the afternoon, we'll be nice and in the 70s again. However, later that night, we will have some showers, and behind those, there will be some colder, drier air from the Canadian prairie. But worry not, we have 50 degrees and 70s throughout the area. And here's more on that rain. So right here in Iowa, we have some rain going through, and it is moving to the east. And then we will have a bit of that Tuesday night. And you'll see some more of that coming through the west right now. And then right around Wednesday morning, that's when we should get the brunt of this rain, though we will have some clouds moving in on Tuesday night. Here's that front right there, and west of that, coming over here, we'll have some of that cooler, drier air, so we will have some cold nights later this week. As for tonight, it will be partly cloudy, and it'll be about 52, but then tomorrow will be another sunny, beautiful day, and here's the rest of your 7-day forecast. So tomorrow will be a glorious fall day, 72 degrees with a few clouds moving in as we get later in the day. Wednesday, we will have some showers, but then Thursday, Friday, Saturday through Monday will all be beautiful, wonderful October sunny fall days.
Yeah, James, I I'm really enjoying these last couple warm days. I'm not a person who really likes cold weather, so I'm enjoying these last couple warm days that we're having right now.
Nor am I. I'm loving it. I used to think Midwestern winters were awful, but this one, at least this fall, hasn't been so bad so far.
Yeah, so let's hope this continues a little bit longer. But as you said, cold weather is coming, and it's going to come fast.
Sadly.
Thank you, James, for that update. Eric Ruzanski will have the full breakdown of this past week's Crusader sports are up next.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it...
If dying young won't change your mind, baby, right.
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR.
And welcome back to The Shield. I'm Eric Ruzanski. As the weather begins to get colder, the football season continues to progress. After the road trip to Morehead State this weekend ago, the Crusaders return home to host Drake as Valpo look to get back on track. After a pair of Drake's touchdowns early, Ryan Clark pushes into the end zone here to cut off the Drake lead to 7. Drake then answered with a touchdown, but then Joey Diaz-Martinez picks off Grant Kramer and takes it all the way back to make it a 21-14 game. 28-14 at the half, Jimmy Seawald found Frank Katrine to again make it just a 7-point game. But Valpo wasn't again to prevail, falling 35-21 and 2-4 on the season. They'll be back in action next weekend on the road at Stetson. And now transitioning into volleyball, the Crusaders look to bounce back from a tough conference start with a pair of road matches at Northern Kentucky and Wright State. The trip to Kentucky didn't go smoothly as it was a quick 3-0 loss, 25-12, 25-22, and 25-18. Catherine Carlson continued her solid season with 9 kills and 10 points. Morgan Longoria had a solid day off the bench with 11 digs, and Elena Brown, the freshman, had 5 digs in the loss. And then transitioning to Saturday, where the Crusaders got off to a fantastic start, leading 2-0 to end up losing 3-2. Carlson had 17 kills, and Emily Campbell and Taylor Grabowski pitched in 11 each, but it wasn't enough. The loss moved Valpo to 1-5 in the Horizon League play. It's been an extremely disappointing start for the Crusaders. While both the football team and volleyball team struggled, one team has had a positive result, and that was the men's soccer team. And now it's time to send it out to Rachel Gerhart, who's actually out at Brownfield for an update.
Thank you, Eric. Though it was not the best results, the men's soccer team concluded their match in a draw here at Brownfield on Saturday. The men's soccer team is still to yet be defeated in Horizon League gameplay with a 3-0-2 record right now. Senior Matthew Guay scored a goal for the Crusaders, leading them over Milwaukee 1-0 in the first half. Unfortunately, in the second half, the Panthers came back, scoring a goal to end the game in a draw. Behind me, you can see the men's soccer team here practicing up as they will be going on the road tomorrow for a non-conference game against Western Michigan. Thank you, Eric. Back to you.
And thanks for that update, Rachel. And on the women's side of things, the Crusaders suffered a really tough loss to Wright State on the road. April Cronin had the goal for the Crusaders, but they gave up a go-ahead goal in the 76th minute and were not able to bounce back. So guys, it really was a tough weekend all around for the majority of the sports teams, but we've got some great matches coming up this week. Men's soccer is going to be playing on Tuesday at West Michigan. Then looking like going to be on Wednesday, the volleyball team's going to be playing Oakland. And then this Saturday, of course, we've got football playing, and then the women's soccer should be a good matchup.
Yeah, so even following a tough weekend this week, they have a chance to get back on track.
Exactly, yeah.
Perfect. We'll be right back with a final look at your weather forecast after the break.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it...
If Daniel won't change your mind, baby,
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
Welcome back, everybody. We should be having an absolutely beautiful day tomorrow. Unfortunately, we will have a little bit of rain coming in on Wednesday, but after that, from Thursday into the rest of our weekend, then into Monday, it should be sunny, beautiful days. It'll be great for this weekend. With the sports happening this weekend, it should be great weather.
Yeah, really good opportunity with that weather to get those games in.
Exactly. It's like going to be 70 degrees, so beautiful for some sporting events.
And sunny.
Can't beat that. Cannot beat that. Well, for Eric, Rachel, James, Alex, and myself, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on The Shield.